Hello and welcome to Orcanos Academy training session. In this session, we will be reviewing the Fields Layout Admin option to control the metadata that appears in all work items in your system. The first thing we need to do is access the admin from the main menu and choose under Customization the Fields Layout option. Under Fields Layout, you can search between all the different types of work items you have in your system. You can use the Smart Search by typing or roll down all your options that appear in the list. For this example, we will be reviewing the material work item. We'll be showing examples in the product tree of a material work item so you can see the effect of the changes made in the admin. Back to admin. You can see here the different sections that appear in this work item. In every work item, the overview section will be the first section that appears and it is set and you cannot edit it. The other sections can be moved and reorganized according to your needs. Let's just notice that in the overview section, you have a unique checkbox called Show Item Path. By clicking the Show Item Path, any material work item that you review will show the path of that specific work item. So for example, if we look in the product tree, you can see this is what it looks like when the path is turned on. It is up to you if you want to include the path in a specific work item. Please notice there are different types of custom fields in this layout. For a system custom field, you will be able to see the pencil, which means you can rename and reuse this custom field throughout all your different work items in the system. And for a custom field that is unique to your system, you'll have this wrench sign here. And by clicking that, you'll be able to make changes through the custom field section in the admin to this specific field. We will touch on that shortly with a few examples. Please notice that every work item has the name and the status fields already embedded into the overview. These are two very important fields to use throughout all your work items. They control your transition in the process flow, and the name will be what appears on the left side of your product tree. You can rename the name, but be mindful that this will appear only in that specific work item. Let's move on with a few examples. I will be adding a new section. So in order to add a section, you click the Add Section button. I'm going to call it Quality Information and save. A new section will be automatically added to the very bottom of your layout. You can reorganize it by drag and dropping your layout into a new location. You can edit any of the sections or remove them by using the Edit button to change the name or the X in order to remove the section. You can add new fields to any of the existing sections or move fields from one section to another by just drag and dropping that specific field. I will now show an example of adding a new field into the layout by typing Kappa. I can drag and drop Kappa list into the additional information section. Always remember when making many changes to the admin to save the settings as you go in order to see the effects in your system by hitting Save Settings and Save. Just one moment, you'll be able to see the effect of this change in the product tree. As you can see in the additional information, we now have a field called Kappa List. Going back to the admin settings, if you are searching for a field that isn't coming up in your right side available fields list, this can either mean that the field already exists in your layout, for example, the 21 CFR reference, or that the field is a specific field for a work item and isn't allowed to be added in the work item you are reviewing. In order to seek more information about the custom fields that are available to you, see the Custom Fields section in the admin. If you would like to remove an entire section from your layout, you can do so by clicking the X. This will prompt a message to ask what to do with the existing fields in that section. You can either move the fields to the overview section or remove all the fields from the section. So by choosing Move All Fields to Overview and hitting Save, it will take the two existing fields and relocate them into the overview. It is important when deleting sections and fields to be wary of existing information in the system so that it is not lost when making admin changes. Removing fields is done easily by clicking the bar at the right side of the field. You will also get a prompt to see if you are sure you want to remove this since it has existing data. By clicking OK, it will remove the custom field from my layout. You can also edit custom fields that are already in your layout. So for example, if I want to make changes to part supplier manufacturing list, this is a custom field. By clicking the wrench, the system will redirect me to the custom field with its information, and I'll be able to make changes to the name. Just a simple change of cosmetics. And then I can go back to admin, back to the fields layout window, and under material, the change will be impacted. This, of course, will also affect all existing work items already in your product tree. Making a change to a system field is slightly different. For example, the name is a system field that we use recurringly in all work items, and I can rename this field by clicking the pencil and giving it a new name. And this change will only be relevant for material work item, whereas the changes made into a custom field will affect all the work items that use this custom field. This is a very important difference to notice between system fields and custom fields. The arrows that you see on the very right of all the fields is in order to change the cosmetics of how you want this field to be represented. So for example, by choosing top, I can have this at the very top of my list, and the assign to can be at the very bottom. You can play around with the aesthetics so that it makes sense to the way you want your users to fill this work item. The final and very important function that you can control under your fields layout are tooltips. You can add tooltips to give instructions to the users and additional information on how to fill this specific custom field. For example, for priority, I can add a tooltip that will give instructions For system fields, you can add different tooltips throughout the work items that you are using this custom field. And for custom fields, you can have one tooltip that will be reoccurring throughout your different work items. Let's review the changes that we made in the product tree to see the result of all these changes. As you can see, the material name is now at the very top of my field, and then I have my additional, and the assigned to is at the very bottom. If I now view the priority and I want to choose the answer, you can see the instructions on how to fill jumps up as a pink tooltip. You can exit that when filling the field itself. Fields layout is a great way for you to control the way you want your users to fill information, the metadata that's important for each work item, and it gives you full control in terms of what information is required in each of your work items in your system. I hope you are able to use it wisely and it answers all of your needs. Thank you for listening and have a good day.